So where do we begin with what happened on Tucker last night? I think, well, let me start with what we expected to see. Start with cut two. This is what the media had been saying about Senator Josh Hawley. Listen.
You guys have seen the video of Josh Hawley running. How's he going to respond? Because you can't let that sit. I mean, it's just awful. He looks like a clown. He's like, run through the halls. In fact, Josh Hawley was like sprinting past the other senators.
I thought he ran like a coward. If you are going to be on the side of evil in this, you're going to be exposed. And as soon as the crowd came in, he started running like a baby away.
Jim, can we play that back with the audio turned up?
They just wanted to embarrass a senator of the United States.
Trevor Noah, always so handsome.
To embarrass the man. Huh?
So funny.
Why? Just because he ran away like a little I mean, what did he do? Yeah, he raised his fist and he egged the crowd on, but is that a reason to show him pissing his pants on national television?
No senators run in the Capitol, ever. It is not what you do in the Capitol if you're a senator. You walk slowly. You do not run for your life. And that's what he was doing there. He is afraid.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that was just one little teeny clip of a longer piece of video that we found last night with Tucker Carlson. Cut one.
When the committee wasn't accusing Republican office holders of planning riots on January 6th, it was accusing them of running away from those riots like cowards. In the case of Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, the committee and their allies accused him of both.
Josh Hawley is a
To prove that Josh Hawley was a coward, the committee released video of him loping out of the building on the afternoon of January 6th with a police escort. The tape became a staple on social media. Democrats laughed with derision.
Later that day, Senator Hawley fled after those protesters he helped to rile up stormed the Capitol. See for yourself.
But in fact, the surveillance footage we reviewed shows that famous clip was a sham, edited deceptively by the January 6th committee. The clip was propaganda, not evidence. The actual videotape shows that Hawley was one of many lawmakers being ushered out of the building by Capitol Hill police officers. And in fact, Hawley was at the back of the pack. The coward tape was a lie, one of many from the January 6th committee.
Unbelievable.
So he did run, he's just running with a huge group that being shuffled out by police.
By police. Right. Police are shuffling, let's go. He's the last one after, dozens of people that you see. So
incredible.
So they knew this. So when we said the January 6th committee is nothing more than a sham, and Liz Cheney was on it and running cover for the Democrats and for the liars, I shouldn't say just Democrats, for anyone who is lying to keep their office. So she's lying. She knows it. And they're doing it just to discredit. Justice comes to mind. Our flag is supposed to stand for justice for all. Okay, Josh Hawley didn't get any justice, but he's the least of your worries. Josh Hawley didn't get any justice. Will he get any justice? Will the people on the January 6th committee, led by Adam Schiff, a guy we already know lied about Russian collusion, is that man going to face impeachment? Probably not. So is there justice for all? Because this is not a matter of opinion. We now have it on tape. Okay, that's, as I said, the least of the problems. Let me go to cut 22, please. This is about, remember the shaman, the QAnon shaman, that everybody's like, he's crazy. And he looked crazy. In all of the tapes that you saw, he looked crazy. Didn't look violent, but looked crazy.
He is wearing horns on his head. That's one way
and
to make you look crazy. Right.
Yeah, no shirt. Okay. So nobody's for the shaman, and he became the symbol. In fact, I think he got more time than anyone else. 4 years in prison. Watch. Listen.
Dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
If you watch this videotape, you see the the Capitol Police, in hallway after hallway after hallway, either leading him, ushering him, or directly following him. Not like following him like we're spying, just one step behind him, walking through a whole crowd of police officers. They were clearly assisting him. Now, how did that guy get 4 years in prison when he was being escorted by the police? It's hard to think that you're being a criminal and doing criminal activity when the police are opening the doors for you. And here, let's get you into that Senate chamber. Oh, well, this door is locked. Let's go to the other door. It's pretty hard. Now, we've heard him give a prayer, thank the police. That is a conspiracy theory. How dare you? He's saying that because he's a terrorist and he's trying to mislead. Was he?
It's interesting. If you haven't seen this clip, too, you might think, well, look, the place was being invaded. They knew a few Capitol Police were not going to be able to stop this giant crowd, so therefore they're just trying to make peace. You could make that argument in certain videos that I've seen. This one, however, he's by himself.
All by himself.
He's walking by himself through the halls. They could have easily stopped him.
Yep.
Easily stopped him.
But they did. But it wasn't that they were just following. They assisted him.
Yeah. I mean, here's where you go. He's several of the videos, they're walking in front of him. And they're all alone. I mean, like, it's not... Again, I can understand if you've got 300 people in front of you and you have 4 police officers, trying to tackle each one of them is not probably the right maneuver, right? In this situation, though, they could easily have just handcuffed this guy and put him to the side.
This, by the way, is footage that he wasn't allowed to use at his trial.
I mean, you have to open this trial up again. How can they not have access to this?
Open this trial up again? Do you really think open this trial up again?
Yeah.
Really?
You don't think that they should do that?
Oh, I think if this were anything else and somebody was serving 4 years and you knew that the district attorney knew this and held this back, you would dismiss it and release that guy and apologize and go after the district attorney.
I would describe that as opening the trial again, but I guess maybe, just what I'm saying is take the result that you have and throw it out. Reverse it, or I mean, he may still be guilty of trespassing or something else, but you're not in jail for 4 years for that.
You can't try him twice.
Yeah.
You can't try him twice. And the guy needs a new trial. If you're going to throw him in jail, you need a new trial. Well, they've already tried him once. And when they tried him, they lied.
Yeah.
Why would he have to stand trial again?
Again, I've watched a lot of Law and Order episodes, but it doesn't seem fair that if this video exists, he should not have access to it in his defense.
It's not.
It seems incomprehensible and against our legal system.
They did everything they could to keep all of the information away from their attorneys, to paint these guys. I mean, I have to tell you, if every American, Democrat, Republican, Independent, if every American isn't outraged by what our government has just done, there is no hope for you. There is no hope. America is lost to you. This should be as shocking. I was outraged on January 6th, and I still am outraged at the people who were breaking down the doors, breaking in the windows, calling for hitting police officers. Those people go to jail. They go to jail. But everyone must receive a fair trial. I'm sorry, but when you have two things, one, just this video of the police escorting him into the Senate chamber, you gotta ask yourself, why would police do that? With everything that was going on, why would they escort this guy into the Senate chamber? Why? Why would you do that?
At the very least, that question should be asked and answered at his trial.
Correct.
Right? Like maybe there's a great answer for it. I don't know what it could be. But
it should be
answered.
Should be asked at the at least affidavit conference with the two officers. Mm-hmm. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? Now, here's the second part. I'll give it to you in 1 minute. Now, we told you about Ray Epps. And we have been questioning, who the hell is Ray Epps? We've done a whole episode on TV about Ray Epps. There is no way this guy shouldn't have been prosecuted unless he's a government informer. So what's the truth on Ray Epps? Well, he testified. He testified he wasn't even at the Capitol. Once that thing started, he wasn't at the Capitol. Here's Tucker Carlson last night with the video.
One of the enduring mysteries of January 6th is the role that intelligence and law enforcement agencies played in the events of that day. We know there was some number of undercover federal agents in the crowd at the Capitol. Officials have since admitted that under oath. But what exactly were they doing there? The January 6th committee worked hard to hide the answer to that question. We do know from contemporaneous videotape that a mysterious figure called Ray Epps encouraged the crowd to go into the Capitol. For some reason, Epps has never been indicted for that. But there's no question he did it.
We need to go into the Capitol!
Under public pressure, the January 6th committee finally interviewed Ray Epps. Epps told the committee that he never entered the Capitol and therefore never committed a crime. His text messages showed that at 2:12 p.m., he boasted to his nephew that he had, quote, orchestrated the protests at the Capitol. He admitted he helped get people there. Yet, curiously, congressional Democrats consider Ray Epps an ally, not an insurrectionist. Tonight, we can tell you that at the very least, Ray Epps lied in his sworn testimony to the January 6th committee. Epps testified that when he sent the text messages to his nephew, he had already left the Capitol grounds to return to his hotel room. That is not true. The surveillance footage we found shows that, in fact, Ray Epps remained at the Capitol for at least another half an hour. You're seeing that on your screen now. What was Epps doing there? We can't say, but we do know that he lied to investigators. The January 6th committee likely knew this too. Democrats had access to the same tape, yet they defended Ray Epps. No honest investigation would do that.
Cut 24.
The January 6th committee knew perfectly well that Brian Sicknick was walking normally through the Capitol after he was supposedly murdered by Trump supporters. And they know that because they saw this tape. We can be sure because the footage contains an electronic bookmark that is still archived in the Capitol's computer system. That means that investigators working for the Democratic Party reviewed this tape. They saw it, but they refused to release the tape to the public. Why? Because this tape would shatter the fraud they were perpetrating on the country. because hiding the truth served their political interests.
Stop. So this is Brian Sitnick, a Trump voter, a police officer who they say Trump supporters killed by bashing him in the head. Okay? We know that's not true because of the medical examiner's report. He died the next day or the day after from something unrelated.
Maybe stroke related?
Stroke related, but they say not related to being struck on the head. Mm-hmm. He's also in this picture wearing a helmet. Mm-hmm. Okay? So he's struck in the head with a helmet. That makes it even more different. You know, still bad. Don't hit a police officer anywhere with anything. Mm-hmm. However, they say that killed him. They held I think, a mock laying in state. Now that you know the truth, they knew that he wasn't injured. This videotape shows him quite energetic, picking things up and putting them away, escorting people, telling them where to go, et cetera, after he was hit. So you have a government now that has lied to you at the highest levels and everywhere in between. So now what, America? Now what? You have district attorneys, you have judges, you have the president, you have Congress, you have the Senate, you have the Capitol Police, local police. What do you trust? What's left to trust?